Call the meeting back to order, and if we move straight to item 12, the draft submission on the proposed Waimakariri district plan. So we've got the report and attachments. So yeah, welcome to the table. Other comments that you wanted to make on this report, and then we'll move to questions.
Kia ora koutou, just a really brief introduction. I'm Jasmine Mowat, I've got Anita Hansbury here and Mark Stevenson from the planning team. We're asking today for you to approve our draft submission on the proposed Waimakariri district plan. We acknowledge that Finance and Performance is not the usual committee for planning related submissions, but due to the time constraints, this committee suited best, and you do have the delegation to consider and approve this submission today. So we appreciate you making the time on your agenda. We have included some changes since a previous draft was circulated to the council. We've added in statistics as requested on the number of commuters to and from Waimakariri each day. There are approximately 8,000 commuters each day, which is about 32% of their working population comes to Christchurch each day for work. We've also added in a paragraph about covenants and another paragraph in support of the proposed Kāinga Nohoanga zone as well. So really the proposed Waimakariri district plan, yesterday you might have seen an article in the press about increased housing development, potentially greenfields there. That's of course all in the context of further changes from central government, such as the National Policy Statement on Urban Development and the new Resource Management Amendment Bill that's before committee at the moment. So that might change the context for Waimakariri District again with the development of their district plan, but it's all TBC, so we're submitting as business as usual, acknowledging that the context could change between now and then. So any questions, comments? I've got the planning experts here beside me if you've got any questions specifically on the submission, but thank you again.
Great, thank you very much. So questions, Yanni?
Can you just highlight what comments we've made in regards to social and affordable housing?
There was a section on covenants in there as requested from the first draft, which is in paragraph 8. Paragraph 8. The council notes the development covenants can limit intensification in some areas and are contrary to wider intensification outcomes. Also notes the development of community social housing and affordable housing types are limited by covenants.
I just feel like, I don't know, like we signed up to the Future Urban Development Settlement Patterns work, the FUDs or whatever it was called, and there was a social and affordable housing action plan, and that was supposed to inform the district plan reviews for Selwyn and Waimak, but it just doesn't feel like anything's been done. So I just wonder if we could maybe be a little bit more in terms of our submission, be a little bit more referencing what happened in terms of that process. I mean, I appreciate it was delayed, probably maybe because of COVID, maybe because of other reasons, but it seems like the idea of getting inclusionary zoning or financial contributions through district planning or enabling some sort of mechanism to enable social and affordable housing should be a lot more explicit.
We could, to address that point, we could include a sentence to the effect that council seeks that the actions from the social and affordable housing action plan are implemented through the district plan as appropriate.
Yeah, I don't think the problem is they haven't agreed those actions yet. I don't know, people on that committee might know more than me. I don't know where it's got to, but I guess we would just want to see their plan be very clear about how it could actually enable more social and affordable housing.
Within the housing provision framework.
Yeah. If there's support from the council, we can add in that that point. This is your submission ultimately.
Right. And maybe I mean same for Selwyn, but maybe just reference that report action or that report. It was the report into getting the report action and milestones.
I mean, it just seems to me that there is nothing in this plan that stops the council from developing any of its land as social or affordable housing. So this is a land use document. The one thing that affects the land use are the covenants. So it is appropriate to reference the covenants, but you could note in that 8, noting that this was an outcome sought from the from our space in terms of the commitment to social and affordable housing and removing constraints within
because the plan
environment.
Because the social and affordable housing plan isn't finalised yet, so you can't implement actions from that into the district plan because it's not done yet. So,
but if we reference where it was raised in that
Reference
future
where it
development
was
strategy, our space piece.
And inclusionary zoning's been around since 2007. It's been an outstanding action for the urban development
And
partners.
us.
So,
And us.
you know, like that's been in action. So, you know, I personally think we should be saying we expect them to have inclusionary zoning in terms of if they're going to free up more
Sorry, can you
space.
describe what inclusionary zoning?
So if they're freeing up more space for development, then a set percentage or value needs to go back into social and affordable housing outcomes.
I think we can reference the action plan, but recognise it's still yet to be finalised. I think it would perhaps be premature to expect implementation of it, including inclusionary zoning, until such time as that's finalised.
But that picks up the view that we expressed at that time and brings it into this process as well. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or points that people want to raise on this? So Sarah will move. Do we have a seconder? Leanne will second. So moved by Sarah, seconded by Leanne. Is there any debate? Phil?
Yeah, I think it's good that we're all looking at what we can submit to Waimakariri District Council and or Selwyn as well, because they, as Leanne said, they've got shed loads of land. We have got to start looking at rezoning some of our land here, because that's why people are moving out there, because we haven't got enough. I can lay my hands on, I can name or look at 3,000 sections that are being built in Horswell, and it's the only place in Christchurch that we can go. We have got other areas that we should make sure that we actively look at rezoning. I know we've got the 3 metres high or 3 stories high, 3 sections on houses on a section, and that's good for some people, but we have still got land that we can use rather than, because Horswell will fill up to the point that we can't do any more. So I don't think we should lose sight of rezoning more of our dirt. Thank you.
Sarah?
Thanks. Actually, just in response, I think that we've got a really clear infrastructure boundary that was put together some time ago, and a huge amount of land that was rezoned within that infrastructure boundary after the earthquakes. But what we really don't want in Christchurch is more sprawl. More sprawl leads to more vehicle emissions. More sprawl leads to fewer people in the CBD. What we need to do is intensify and become a more dense city over time. And the fact that we have a really strong infrastructure boundary in place, which actually is not a boundary of our choosing, although we were party of it. It is an infrastructure boundary that's put in place through the ECAN's regional policy documents, and so not one that we can change. Cheers.
Any further comments? So I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Against? That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.